Hi guys, unapologetically Mocha, and today we're going to talk about a scourge on society that needs to be addressed. Let me paint you a picture. Picture this: a woman sitting on a couch. She's well dressed in a very lovely home. She has a BMW in the driveway. She's got several kids running around that she kind of takes care of, so kind of doesn't. But she just sits on her couch, watches a big screen TV, and eats, candy or whatever she feels like eating. Fathers aren't around, so she collects a check for each of her kids, But yeah, she pops out kids, sits on her couch, eats candy, lives a really good life. Even goes on vacation a couple of months a year. A couple of times a year. Not a bad life, huh? No, not bad at all. I just have one question. Where do I sign up? What I referenced above is an example of what's called the welfare queen. Now, this is a woman whose sole career is just sitting around having kids, collecting checks, and basically doing nothing with her life. She's living high on the hog on the taxpayer's dime. She doesn't have a job. She's not in school. All she does is pop out kids, collect a check. Not a bad life, right? There's just one problem. She doesn't exist. There will always be people who game the system to get what they don't deserve. Yes, there will always be people who are too lazy to actually get up and do some actual work and earn a day's wage and do their thing. However, the concept of a woman or several women, if you believe the myth, just sitting around popping out kids and collecting the money, no, it doesn't exist. I don't think it ever existed, but I know for a fact that it does not exist now in 2017. It's not even possible in 2017. And I'm going to take this video and take the time to explain why it's not possible in 2017. Okay, you ready? All right, let go. Okay, so the myth of the welfare queen was started in 1976 while Ronald Reagan was running for office. At the time, he was the governor of California, and he was kind of fond of telling tall tales. Well, while he's out stumping for office, there's a woman in Chicago named Linda Clark who has been arrested on various charges, including defrauding the federal government. Now, she was charged with collecting welfare checks, Social Security checks, disability checks. Pretty much if the federal government had a check for it, she was getting it. But that's all Linda was doing. Linda was also pretty big in the crime area. She was known for racketeering. She was known for murder, gambling. Pretty much anything that was badass and criminal, she was involved in it. So, anyway, Ronald Reagan took this woman's story and persona and spun it into this woman that basically just sits at home and pops out children and collects welfare checks to the tune of $150,000 a year. I mean, he painted this big old lavish. She was living in some lavish apartment. Of course, she had 15 of them. And, she was using all of her aliases to collect all of these checks, which she did have aliases, up to 80 aliases, from what I understand. But as far as he was concerned, she was collecting these welfare checks for these children that didn't have fathers, $150,000 a year. Consider this is 1976. So we're talking $150,000 in 1976 money, not now. But living high on the hog on the taxpayer's dime. Okay, now, granted, that might be true, but I'm pretty sure that $150,000 was if it's true, if that's what she was collecting from just, welfare, was a drop of a bucket in comparison to what she was getting for her life of crime. The other crimes, the racketeering and the crimes that lead to murder. So he took a story about a woman that was heavy into a crime syndicate and spun it into this mythical woman who lives off the taxpayer. She doesn't exist. One more time with feeling. She doesn't exist. The welfare queen is a myth. Okay? You got me now? Great. Now, I will go ahead and explain to you how, even if it were even possible for this to have happened in 1976, which is not, it definitely, absolutely, positively is not happening in 2017. And this is why. This is number one. In most states, you can only collect welfare, or as it's more known now as TANF, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, for a set number of years. I know in the state of West Virginia that it's 5. F-5-V-E. 1 more than 4, 1 less than 6. So, if you can only collect this for 5 years, why are you going to keep popping up kids? Because by the time your oldest gets to 5, you're done. You have to support them yourself. You have to figure it out. So, other states also have these rules. It's not just West Virginia. Every state that I know that I've researched has a rule. And most of them run from 5 to 10 years. So no, you cannot collect welfare for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. Number 2, to collect food stamps, are you ready? You have to have an income, which means you are probably working. And if you look at the statistics, 80% of people who collect food stamps, or SNAP benefits is what they're actually called, have jobs. Some of them are 2-parent households. Both parents work. They just don't make a lot of money. So they get food stamps. Or SNAP benefits. No, they're not just not sitting at home eating bonbons that food stamps paid for. No, it actually is a supplement to their actual income from their actual jobs. Welfare queen myth busted again. To collect food stamps and TANF benefits, by the way, you actually either have to be working, you have to be in school, but if you're not doing either of those, you actually have to volunteer someplace. In some states, it's 20 hours a week. Other states, it's up to 40 hours a week. It just depends on the level of benefit you're getting and what have you. So you're not, they're not sitting at home doing nothing, collecting all this stuff. They're either in school, they're working, or they're volunteering, or a combination of the 3. So again, welfare queen doesn't exist. Okay, number 3 is less of a myth buster and just more of a personal gripe of mine. And that is that people who get TANF benefits or food stamps aren't allowed to have nice things. What the damn hell? Since when does being poor mean you're not allowed to wear decent clothes? Since when does it mean you're not allowed to have a cell phone? Since when does it mean you're not allowed to drive a decent car? Because, the last time I checked, to have a job, you kind of need clothes to wear to it. And in a lot of cases, you need a car to get there. And if you're looking for a job, you kind of need a way for them to get a hold of you to let you know whether you're hired or not, thus the phone. So this shaming of welfare recipients or TANF recipients, although I still don't know how you know that's what they are, but it amazes me the amount of shame that I see in a grocery store when someone is buying things that someone else doesn't think they deserve to buy because they used a card that meant that they were getting food stamps or what have you. That amazes me, and not in a good way. Don't be ignorant. There's no rule that says that because you qualify for food stamps, it means that you have to relinquish your cell phone, your clothes, and your car. How do you know where those things came from anyway? How do you know that the phone isn't a gift? How do you know the clothes weren't a gift? How do you know that the car doesn't belong to somebody else? Stop making assumptions because of what you think you know. And leave these people alone. Let them work through what they're working through and get their lives back together. Because reality, folks, most of us are only 1 or 2 paychecks or a decent sized bank account away from being in the exact same boat. So nobody really has any room to preach or complain or vilify or judge anybody else. So stop it. Live your life. Let others live theirs. It's that simple. Don't judge. Yes, and you won't be judged either. In conclusion, the welfare queen is a myth. She was created with an agenda in mind to scare people into thinking that those who weren't rich were just out to scam those who are. And that's not true. Most people in this country just want to live the American dream. They want to be able to feed their family, have a decent house, a decent car, not have to worry about where their next meal is coming from. For some people, this is more difficult than others, but that doesn't mean you have the right to vilify them. And doesn't mean you have a right to create a label to identify them so that it makes you feel better about your situation. And that, I hope, puts this welfare queen nonsense to rest. Because quite frankly, I'm tired of it. And that, boys and girls, is all I have to say on the subject. Thanks for stopping by. If you like what you see here, give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up. See, look, wounded. Ow. And if you want to share it, please do. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you like my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I post videos normally twice a week. Normally I shoot for Tuesdays and Fridays, but I've been a little wacky with my schedule, so I post them when I possibly can. But thanks for stopping by. I'm unapologetic. I'm Mocha, and I'm going to stay both for the rest of my life. Thanks for stopping by, and I will talk to you later this week. Peace.